I believe the United States is a force for good in the world. I believe the United States has done a great service to humanity by helping to construct what we might call this Pax Americana that emerged from the Second World War, not just through the United States, but certainly crucially with the United States, a liberal international order that included freedom of trade, of commerce, of finance, protection of allies against oppression or aggression from mainly communist attackers. And this has been I think this has been a great achievement for the modern world. And it's not one which has come at no cost. It's involved continuing sacrifice on the part of the American people. And since we fortunately live in a country where the consent of the governed is required, this means that our leadership has to justify this incessantly to our population, convince them that this is worth the sacrifice. Since the end of the Cold War, we've had this, to me, very odd spate of seemingly substandard presidential leadership, both parties, where we've squandered American predominance in what seems to me to be terribly unwise ways. Maybe this is just, a sort of a modern tragedy, tragic version of the sort of a Delphic oracle story. You don't realize what you can do with all of this power until you don't have as much of it anymore. One of the things which I certainly noticed from my own stumbling around looking for problems that are hiding in plain sight, is that the bottom half of U.S. households in inflation-adjusted terms didn't have any more net worth in 2019 than they had when the Berlin Wall came down. So if you're going to try to explain to half of America's households why we won the Cold War and exactly who won the Cold War, you're probably going to have to get out a little bit more than the American elites have done. This is maybe a roundabout way of saying that Trump voters were not entirely delusional. They were responding to something very real, and it was something that the American elites living in their bubbles didn't really recognize terribly well. It's another chapter in the failure of the elites book that we were just fleshing out a few moments ago.